The courtroom is silent, so silent you can hear the ticking clock echoing through the walls. Cameras flash, whispers ripple through the crowd, and in the middle of it all sits Kody Brown. His hands are shaking. His eyes dart toward Robyn, who refuses to look back at him. Across the aisle, Christine's jaw tightens. She's not the same woman who once stood by his side. Today, she's not a wife. She's a witness. The moment the gavel strikes, the echo travels through the courtroom like a thunderclap. Every camera lens shifts toward Kody Brown. He sits at the defense table, stiff-jawed, his fingers interlocked so tightly, his knuckles have turned white. The air feels dense, like everyone's holding their breath at once. Robyn adjusts her seat beside him, eyes red-rimmed, clutching a small silver cross between her palms. On the other side, Christine watches with quiet fire. She's no longer the woman smiling through the chaos of plural marriage. She's here for justice and nothing else. The judge clears his throat. Court is now in session for the case of Brown versus Brown. Even the words sound absurd. Family versus family. The gallery is packed with reporters, former neighbors, even a few producers from the old reality show, all waiting to see how the once famous family falls apart. The prosecutor, a sharp-faced woman named Morgan Reed, rises first. Her voice is calm, but cuts like glass. Your Honor, today will show that years of deception, manipulation, and hidden finances led to irreparable harm. Emotional, financial, and psychological. She glances toward Christine. Our first witness is Christine Brown. The entire courtroom leans forward. Kody's eyes flicker for a moment, half anger, half heartbreak. As Christine stands, there's a hush that swallows the room. She walks confidently to the witness stand, but her hands tremble as she takes the oath. When she sits, Morgan steps closer. Christine, can you tell the court when you realized something wasn't right in your marriage? Christine exhales slowly. When love started feeling like a contract. A murmur spreads. Morgan lets it linger, then asks, You mean? Christine nods. Kody made promises about equality, about love being shared. But behind the cameras, behind the smiles, he was signing papers I never knew about. Business accounts, real estate transfers. All in Robyn's name, Kody shakes his head slightly, whispering to his lawyer. The defense objects, but the judge overrules. Christine continues, her tone soft but steady. We built a family on trust. Then one day, I realized trust was the only thing we didn't actually have. Morgan slides a photo onto the projector. An image of a property deed. Is this one of the documents you're referring to? Christine nods. Yes. That house was meant for all of us. But he told me it was being used for family investments. Turns out, it became Robyn's name on the title. The rest of us? Just invisible signatures in his story? The audience gasps. Robyn's eyes fill with tears. She whispers, That's not true. Kody places a hand over hers, a small gesture that only fuels the tension. Christine's jaw tightens. Morgan presses on. Christine, did you confront Kody? I did, she says. And he told me, quote, You should be grateful I'm keeping this family together. The silence that follows is suffocating. The judge leans forward. Mrs. Brown, did you feel threatened? Christine hesitates. Not physically, but emotionally. Every day. When someone controls your money, your house, and even your story, that's a prison you can't see. The prosecutor thanks her and sits. The defense attorney, a tall man with a calm smile, approaches. Mrs. Brown, you understand that family finances are complex, especially in plural households? Christine smirks sadly. Complex doesn't mean dishonest. He steps closer. But you also benefited from those accounts? Vacations, business profits, homes. Christine interrupts, her voice firm now. I benefited from lies I didn't know existed. That's not benefit, that's betrayal. A few people in the gallery nod silently, moved. The defense sighs, flipping through notes. Then, almost too casually, he asks, Christine, did you ever threaten to expose the family's secrets if Kody didn't grant you certain assets after your separation? Her eyes widen. No. Are you sure? Yes. But the lawyer smiles faintly. Then you won't mind if I submit these text messages. He places a printed stack on the judge's desk. The gallery erupts. Kody looks straight at Christine, and for the first time, he smiles. The judge calls for order. We'll review this evidence shortly. Christine's composure cracks. She whispers, "Those messages were taken out of context. I said I wanted him to be honest, not that I'd blackmail him." The defense shrugs. "Context is everything, Mrs. Brown. That's what we'll uncover here." When Christine steps down, she avoids Kody's gaze. Robyn wipes her tears, but her expression hardens. The emotional tone in the room shifts again. Pity turns into tension. The judge calls a short recess. As people stand, the camera crew in the back whispers excitedly. The air feels thick with rumors. In the hallway, Christine leans against the wall, breathing hard. A producer approaches quietly. "Do you regret doing this?" She shakes her head. Regret? Number. Fear? Always inside the courtroom, Kody's lawyer whispers something in his ear. He nods slowly. His face looks calm, too calm. He's planning something. And when the session resumes, Morgan stands again. "Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call its next witness, Janelle Brown." A low hum fills the room. Janelle walks in with quiet determination. She's not trembling like Christine. She's cold, focused. Her eyes lock on Kody's. He tries to smile, but she doesn't blink. Morgan begins softly. "Janelle, you've always been seen as the mediator in the family. Why testify today?" "Because I was tired of pretending everything was fine." The audience goes silent again. Janelle continues, voice steady. "For years, I defended Kody. I told everyone he was just overwhelmed. But after Christine left, I started looking through the accounts. That's when I saw the transfers. The joint fund we all paid into? Drained. The business money? Redirected. And when I asked him why, he told me I didn't need to understand it." She exhales. "That's when I realized the family wasn't united. It was managed." The defense rises again. "Mrs. Brown, isn't it true you also benefited from those accounts?" Janelle nods calmly. "Yes, and that's why I'm here. Because if I'm guilty of trusting him, I'll own that. But I won't stay silent while he plays God with our lives." A single tear rolls down Robyn's cheek. She whispers, "He was trying to protect us." Janelle turns toward her. "Then why are we all bleeding from his protection?" Gasps echo. The judge bangs the gavel. "Order!" Morgan concludes softly. No further questions. As Janelle steps down, Kody finally looks broken. Or maybe just exposed. His lawyer whispers, "We can still turn this around." Kody mutters, "We have to." They don't know everything. The judge glances at the clock. Court will reconvene tomorrow morning. Both sides prepare for new evidence submissions. The gavel strikes again. Cameras flash. The family scatters like shattered glass, each walking in different directions, each carrying years of hurt. Outside, reporters swarm them, shouting questions. "Christine, do you think Kody will face charges?" "Janelle, is this about the show's money?" "Kody, are you guilty?" Kody raises his hand. No comment. But his eyes tell another story, one filled with fear. Later that night, a storm hits Flagstaff. Rain lashes against the courthouse windows. Inside, janitors clean the empty room, but one folder remains on the defense table, forgotten, or maybe left intentionally. On the label, confidential. Brown estate transfers, 2013 to 2019. The camera lingers on it as thunder rolls. The rain hasn't stopped all night. It's morning now, but the sky still looks bruised, heavy with secrets that refuse to fade. The courthouse doors swing open once more, and inside, the same faces return, older, wearier, and somehow smaller under the fluorescent lights. The Brown family walks in like strangers bound by a curse. Kody's suit is crisp, but his eyes look restless. Christine and Janelle sit side by side, an unspoken alliance between them. Robyn lingers behind, clutching a tissue that's already soaked through. The judge takes his seat. Court is now reconvened. Before we begin, the court has received a confidential folder left overnight on the defense table. "Counsel, please explain." Kody's lawyer, visibly unsettled, clears his throat. Your Honor, we were unaware the document remained. However, it appears to contain old estate and financial transfers related to the Brown family's shared assets. The judge nods slowly. Then, we'll enter it into evidence. Proceed. Kody's jaw tightens. He leans toward his lawyer, whispering sharply, "This wasn't supposed to happen yet." But it's too late. The prosecution steps forward eagerly. We'd like to begin by reviewing the contents of that file. The clerk opens it carefully. Pages rustle like whispers in a haunted room. Inside are signatures, bank transfers, and one particularly strange document, a notarized letter dated 2014. Morgan Reed's voice trembles slightly as she reads aloud. This letter, signed by Kody Brown, establishes a secondary account under Robyn Brown's name, with discretionary access to family funds, including income generated from the show Gasps echo through the courtroom. Christine's eyes narrow. Janelle's lips part slightly, disbelief written across her face. Kody sinks lower in his chair. "It was for tax purposes," he mutters, voice barely audible. Morgan raises an eyebrow. "Tax purposes." The letter also notes a clause, and I quote, "In the event of marital separation, funds may be retained by Robyn for the preservation of family image and media control." Robyn looks stunned. I never saw that clause." Christine turns toward her, tears glinting in her eyes. "You benefited from it, though, didn't you?" Robyn shakes her head furiously. "I thought it was a joint safety account." The tension in the room snaps like glass. The judge sighs, rubbing his temples. "Mr. Brown, did you inform your other spouses of this financial arrangement?" Kody's voice cracks. "Your Honor, it wasn't like that. I was trying to keep us protected. The show was collapsing. The producers were hinting that they'd drop us if we didn't show a united front. I thought, if Robyn handled things quietly, maybe we'd survive the storm." Christine's voice cuts through. "But you didn't protect us, Kody. You erased us." Kody finally looks up at her, eyes glossy. "You left me before I ever erased you." The room holds its breath. For a moment, it's no longer about money. It's about everything they never said when the cameras were off. The judge motions for order. "We're not here to debate emotions. We're here for facts." Morgan nods, flipping another page. "Let's talk about this transfer to Flagstaff Holdings, LLC. It seems to connect back to Robyn's account and a property purchase under an alias." The defense immediately objects. "Speculative? Overruled," the judge says. Morgan continues. "Mrs. Brown, you recognize the signature?" Robyn hesitates, staring at the page. "It looks like mine." "Because it is," Morgan replies. "You signed for a $600,000 property 3 months before Christine filed for separation. Coincidence?" Tears spill down Robyn's face. "I didn't know what it was for." "He told me to trust him," Christine whispers under her breath. "That's what we all did." The judge calls for a brief pause as murmurs ripple through the crowd. Reporters are scribbling furiously. Even the bailiff looks uncomfortable. Then, from the back row, a voice pipes up, one that wasn't supposed to speak. "There's something else. It's Mykelti, Christine's daughter." The courtroom freezes. "Your Honor," Morgan says, startled. She's not on the witness list. The judge studies her. "Miss Brown, if you have relevant testimony, you may approach. But remember, you're under oath." Mykelti nods, trembling. She walks slowly to the stand, eyes flicking between her parents. She takes a deep breath. "I found something months ago. Mom didn't want me to bring it up, but I can't stay quiet anymore." Kody's voice rises. "Mykelti, don't." But she continues. "After Mom moved out, I helped pack up old boxes. In one, I found an envelope marked Show Trust. It had copies of contracts showing that after season 8, all residual payments were redirected to a single management account." Morgan frowns. "Whose account?" Mykelti's voice wavers. "Robyn's." The room erupts. Cameras flash. The judge bangs his gavel until silence returns. Robyn sobs into her hands. Kody looks frozen, like he's been hollowed out. Morgan exhales slowly. "Miss Brown, are you certain?" Yes. I even checked the account number. It matches the one in that folder. The prosecution rests for a moment, allowing the revelation to hang in the air like smoke after an explosion. The defense, visibly rattled, finally rises. Miss Brown, you were a child when these contracts were signed. You can't possibly understand the context. Mike Kelty glares at him. I understand betrayal just fine. The audience murmurs again. The defense sighs. No further questions. As McKelty steps down, she glances once at Kody. Her voice softens. You always said family was forever. I guess you just didn't mean ours? Kody looks down. He can't even speak. The judge announces another recess. People spill out into the hallways again, buzzing like a hive. Reporters are already live streaming updates. Explosive testimony from Brown daughter. Outside, Robyn sits alone on the courthouse steps, rain dripping from her hair. Christine and Janelle pass her by, silent. But before they leave, Christine turns back. You could have stopped him, Robyn. You were the only one he listened to. Robyn's voice is faint. And if I did, we'd have lost everything sooner. Christine shakes her head. Sometimes losing everything is how you finally start over. That night, news networks replay the courtroom footage endlessly. Hashtags trend. Hashtag sister wives trial. Hashtag Kody exposed. Hashtag truth and tears. Inside his home, Kody sits alone, staring at the fire. His phone buzzes with calls he doesn't answer. The faces of his wives haunt him from every reflection. Christine's glare, Janelle's calm, Robyn's tears. He whispers to himself, they don't understand. I did this for us. But even he doesn't sound convinced anymore. At the courthouse, security cameras capture something unexpected. A shadow moves near the clerk's office, someone slipping a new envelope under the judge's door. The guard doesn't notice. The envelope reads, To the court. Evidence, Part 2. The screen fades to black. The next morning, the courthouse feels different. No chatter, no reporters shouting questions, just silence. The world already knows what happened yesterday, and everyone's waiting for the next explosion. When Kody walks in, he looks drained. His hair is uncombed, his suit slightly wrinkled. Christine doesn't even look his way. Robyn, pale and shaking, sits alone, as if she's bracing for something no one else knows is coming. The judge calls the session to order. Court is reconvened. Before we proceed, the court received a new submission marked as Evidence Part 2. It was left anonymously at my office last night. Counsel, approach. Both attorneys rush forward. Morgan Reed, the prosecutor, looks intrigued but cautious. The defense attorney's face goes pale the second he glimpses the envelope. The judge opens it carefully. Inside is a small USB drive and a handwritten note. He reads aloud. If you want the real truth about the Browns, listen to this. The audience murmurs. The judge inserts the USB into the court's computer. A single audio file appears on screen. Family Meeting 2018.mp3. The judge presses play. At first, there's static, then voices, familiar ones. It's Kody, Christine, Janelle, and Robyn, all gathered in what sounds like a living room. The audio crackles with tension. Christine's voice comes first, trembling but strong. Kody, you can't just make these decisions without us. This is our family, not your business. Kody's tone is low, impatient. You think you understand what it takes to run this family? You don't. Someone has to be in charge. And it's not going to be chaos anymore. Janelle chimes in. That's not leadership, Kody. That's control. Then Robyn's voice, calm, soothing, but uneasy. Maybe he's right. Maybe structure is what we need. Christine fires back. Structure? He's moving everything into your name, Robyn. That's not structure. That's replacement. A long silence follows in the recording. Then Kody speaks again, a tone colder than the audience has ever heard before. If you can't trust me, maybe you shouldn't be part of this family anymore. The courtroom freezes. You can feel the air leave the room. The judge pauses the audio. Is this authentic, Mr. Brown? Kody doesn't answer. He just stares straight ahead. Morgan turns to him. Mr. Brown, did you record this conversation? Kody swallows hard. No, but I remember that night. Morgan nods slowly. Then perhaps you'll remember what comes next. The judge hits play again. The voices return, sharper this time. Christine's crying now. You said this was about unity, but all you ever wanted was control. You've taken our homes, our savings, our freedom. Kody interrupts harshly. You had your freedom, Christine. You could have left any time. Her voice cracks. I didn't want to leave my family. You made me. A collective gasp runs through the room. Janelle's voice joins in. She's right, Kody. You pushed her away. You wanted the image of a husband, not the reality. And then, Robyn again. This time she sounds panicked. Stop recording this. Stop it now. A door slams in the background. The recording cuts off. The audio stops. The courtroom sits in stunned silence. The judge exhales. This changes everything. Morgan steps forward. Your Honor, this recording proves intent. Emotional manipulation, coercion, and financial deceit within the marriage dynamic. The prosecution requests to submit this as key evidence. The defense leaps to his feet. This was obtained illegally. The judge frowns. Perhaps. But until its authenticity is disproven, it stays on record. Kody slams his fist against the table. You're turning my life into a circus. Christine stands slowly. Her voice is soft, but it cuts through him like a blade. You did that yourself, Kody. We just stopped being your audience. A few people in the gallery clap before the judge silences them. Court recesses for an hour, but no one leaves. Everyone's glued to their seats, whispering theories. Outside, the news vans are going wild. Secret recording reveals Brown family meltdown. Back inside, Kody sits slumped, his lawyer whispering frantically, but he's not listening. His mind is somewhere else, maybe in that moment years ago when everything started falling apart. He whispers under his breath, almost to himself. They don't know why I did it. Morgan notices and steps closer. Then tell us. Tell the court. The judge nods. Mr. Brown, you may take the stand. The room stiffens. Kody stands slowly, straightens his jacket, and walks to the witness box. For the first time, his confidence looks like it's built on sand. He raises his hand, swears in, and sits. Morgan starts gently. Kody, why did you do it? He laughs weakly. You think I planned this? You think I wanted to be the villain? I was trying to save what little we had left. The fame was fading, the money was drying up, and the show was the only thing keeping us alive. I thought if I controlled the finances, maybe I could control the fallout. Christine whispers, You didn't save us, Kody. You just saved your reflection. Kody's face twists. You left me when I needed you most. Janelle stands. No, Kody. You needed control. You didn't want a wife. You wanted witnesses to your power. The courtroom feels like a powder keg. Kody's voice breaks. You think I didn't love you all? You think I didn't lose sleep every night wondering how to hold it together? Christine wipes a tear. Love isn't control. It's letting people choose you. And you never let us choose Robyn, who's been silent until now, suddenly stands. Her voice shakes. Stop blaming him. We all played our parts. I thought if I supported him, maybe it would make things better. But every time I tried to help, it made everything worse. And now everyone hates me for it. The room goes silent again. Christine turns to her gently. Robyn, no one hates you. We just wanted honesty. From both of you, Robyn collapses into her seat, sobbing. The judge finally intervenes. That's enough for today. But as he speaks, a clerk rushes up with a note. Your Honor, it's urgent. Another recording has been found. It's from the same source. The judge frowns. We'll review it privately before recess tomorrow. He bangs the gavel. Court adjourned until morning. Everyone rises. The family leaves in silence, but Christine pauses at the door. She turns to look at Kody one last time. You wanted the world to see your perfect family? I hope they're watching now. Kody doesn't respond. He just stares down at his hands, shaking. Outside, the media swarms them again. Reporters shout questions. Christine, will you press charges? Kody, do you regret the recording? Robyn, are you leaving him? But none of them answer. They just keep walking through the rain. The sound of thunder echoing behind them, like the world applauding the chaos they created. Back inside the empty courtroom, the USB still glows faintly in the computer port. The janitor reaches to unplug it, but another file suddenly appears on the screen. Family Meeting 2019.mp3. And this one is marked private. The screen flickers, the lights hum, and the camera zooms in on the words until everything fades to black. The next day, the sky over the courthouse is gray, heavy with rain, like even the clouds know what's coming. Reporters are already lined up before sunrise. Inside, the atmosphere feels charged. Everyone whispering about the new file, the 2019 one. Christine walks in with quiet confidence. Janelle follows, her eyes sharp. Robyn looks pale, clutching a tissue like a lifeline. And Kody. He looks defeated, yet oddly ready, like a man about to face his own reflection for the first time. The judge takes his seat and clears his throat. Before we begin, the court has reviewed the new audio file submitted late last night. The content is sensitive. However, given its potential relevance, it will be played under judicial supervision. He looks around the room. Everyone, please, brace yourselves. Morgan Reed, the prosecutor, nods grimly and hits play. The file name flashes on screen. Family Meeting 2019.mp3. There's silence, then faint voices, laughter at first. The sound of glasses clinking. It's the Browns, all of them. It sounds like a private dinner, Christine's voice. At least tonight we're together. No cameras, no producers, no drama, Kody chuckles. Yeah, just family. Then Robyn's soft voice. Finally feels normal again. But a few seconds later, the tone shifts. Someone sighs. Janelle. Normal? She says. Kody, you said this meeting was about trust. Let's talk about the bank accounts. The room in the recording falls silent. Kody's tone hardens. We already talked about that. It's under one name, mine. It's simpler that way, Christine cuts in. Simpler for you, not for us. You made us sign everything over to you, and now you say we can't even see where the money goes. Then, another voice, unexpected, a man's. He's right, Christine. You all signed. That makes it legal. The courtroom gasps. Morgan freezes. Who is that voice? Christine looks shaken. That's not family. That's Robyn's brother-in-law. He was handling our finances that year. Robyn covers her face. I told him to stop recording that night. I didn't even know he kept a copy. The judge leans forward. Play on. The voices continue. Janelle. You made us trust you, Robyn. You said it was temporary, that we'd all get our shares back when things stabilized. Robyn. I did what Kody told me to do. He said the producers needed it cleaner, that it was for tax reasons. Christine. You moved everything into your name, Robyn. Not his. Yours? The courtroom murmurs again. Robyn bursts into tears. The audio keeps playing. Kody. We're not enemies. I did what had to be done. You think I wanted to hurt you? The network was threatening to cancel the show if we didn't tighten control. They said too many voices made us look unstable. Janelle. So you silenced us. Christine. You turned us into extras in your story. Then, the male voice again. Robyn's brother-in-law. Kody, I can't hide this anymore. They're going to find out what happened to the fund, Kody. Don't you dare say it. The audio crackles. Everyone leans in. Christine. What fund? A long pause. Then Robyn whispers, the emergency fund. The one for the kids' college and the family's house loans? Janelle. What about it? And then the brother-in-law's voice delivers the line that freezes the courtroom. It's gone. Kody moved it offshore. Months ago, the sound of someone standing up suddenly, Christine's voice again, screaming through the speakers. You did what? That was for our children, Kody. Kody shouts back. You wanted a future, Christine? I gave us one. I kept the show alive. Without that, we'd have nothing. The argument in the recording spirals. Shouting, crying. Then, amidst the chaos, Robyn's voice breaks through, trembling but clear. He didn't move it alone. I helped him. The room in the recording falls dead silent. The courtroom does too. Christine's voice on the recording whispers, "You?" Robyn sobs. "He told me if I didn't help, we'd all lose the house. I didn't know he was lying." Then, a slap. The sound echoes. Gasps from both the courtroom and the recording. Kody's voice roars, "Don't you dare make me the villain, Robyn." And then, static. The file cuts off. The courtroom is silent. You can hear hearts pounding. The judge's voice trembles slightly. "That will be enough." Morgan turns toward Kody, voice low and cold. "You weren't protecting your family, Mr. Brown. You were protecting your fame." Kody grips the witness box. "You think you understand what it's like to have everything crumble on national television? You think any of you would have survived without me?" Christine stands. "We would have survived together. You made sure we never got that chance." The audience starts murmuring again, half in sympathy, half in fury. Robyn, trembling, looks at Christine. "I tried to fix it. I begged him to tell the truth." Christine's voice softens. "Then why didn't you?" Robyn whispers. "Because I thought he'd leave me too." Kody snaps. "You think you're innocent, Christine? You left me for the cameras. You made our pain your story." Christine fires back. "You made all of us your story, Kody. That's the only love you ever had. The one people watched on screen." The judge bangs the gavel. "Order! Order in the court!" The noise dies down, but the damage is done. The truth is out. Kody and Robyn were both behind the money's disappearance. Morgan faces the judge. "Your Honor, we request to subpoena all financial transfers linked to Mr. and Mrs. Brown, starting 2019. This recording proves conspiracy and concealment." The defense objects, but no one's listening anymore. The judge nods. "Approved. The court will recess for forensic review. Mr. and Mrs. Brown, you are to remain available for questioning." Gavel down. Boom. The echo is deafening. Reporters sprint outside, calling their producers. "We've got the biggest reality TV scandal in years." Inside, the family just sits. Broken. Silent. Christine whispers, "It's over." But Robyn shakes her head, eyes red. "No, not yet. You don't understand. There's another file." Christine blinks. "What do you mean, another file?" Robyn looks straight ahead. "The one he never wanted anyone to hear." "The final one?" Kody turns, his face pale as snow. "Robyn, don't." She whispers, "It's time, Kody. They deserve to know." The courtroom gasps as she opens her bag and places a second USB on the table, labeled simply, "The Truth." The judge stares. "Mrs. Brown, what is this?" Robyn's voice cracks. "It's the recording Kody made the night before Christine left. He said it was just for documentation. But it's more than that." Kody stands abruptly. "I'm not letting you play that." Officers move closer, but the judge raises a hand. "Sit down, Mr. Brown. You're not in control anymore." The room goes dead silent. Christine's eyes are full of tears. Janelle looks frozen. Robyn sets the USB on the judge's desk. This is the one that shows what really happened. The night everything fell apart. The judge nods solemnly. "We'll reconvene tomorrow." Court dismissed. Everyone stands, dazed. The tension in the air feels electric, the kind that comes before a storm. Christine looks at Robyn. "Whatever's on that drive, it better be worth it," Robyn whispers. "It's the only thing that will finally make him tell the truth." Outside, flashes explode as cameras surround them. Reporters scream questions. "Christine, are you suing Kody?" "Robyn, what's on the new USB?" "Kody, are you going to jail?" But they keep walking. No answers. Just silence. And as the courthouse doors close, a thunderclap shakes the sky, and the camera pans to the USB still glowing under the fluorescent lights. The label catches one last glint before the screen fades to black. The Truth. Play me last. The next morning, the courthouse feels different, quieter, heavier, as if the air itself knows it's about to carry something sacred and painful. Reporters don't shout this time. Even the photographers lower their cameras as the Brown family walks in. Robyn clutches the small USB, the truth. Christine walks beside her, face calm, but eyes burning with resolve. Kody trails behind, expression blank, but there's something in his eyes. Fear, guilt, maybe both. The judge enters, and for a moment, everything stops. "We reconvene for the submission of new evidence," he says. "Mrs. Brown, please step forward." Robyn's hands tremble as she places the USB in front of him. This is the recording Kody made the night before everything ended. He said it was just for documentation, but I found it weeks ago while cleaning our old home office. The judge nods. "And you confirm this recording was made by Mr. Brown himself?" Robyn whispers. "Yes." He signals the technician. "Play it." The courtroom lights dim slightly as the audio begins. A faint static, then Kody's voice. Soft, tired, almost broken. "If anyone finds this, it means it's over. The show, the family, the dream. I don't know when it happened, but somewhere along the way, I stopped being their husband and became their headline." Christine looks down. Robyn's tears already fall. Kody's recorded voice continues. "I thought control would keep us together. If I made every decision, maybe no one could leave. But control isn't love. It's fear. And I've been terrified of losing them since the day we started filming." The voice cracks mid-sentence. You can hear him sniff, trying not to cry. "Christine, I know you'll never hear this, but I'm sorry. You deserved more than promises and camera lights. You wanted peace, and I gave you chaos." Christine wipes her eyes, lips trembling. "Meri, you stayed longer than anyone should have. You believed in me even when I didn't deserve it. And Janelle? You were the only one who saw me without the mask. You knew I was drowning, and you still stood by me." The courtroom is completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. "Robyn, you were the last one to believe I could still be good. But I turned you into my accomplice. I dragged you into my mess. You deserved better than being my shield." Robyn sobs quietly, covering her mouth. Christine reaches over and places a hand on her shoulder. The first time they've touched in years. Then the recording shifts. Kody's tone changes, lower, more haunted. "The truth is, I did move the money. Not because I wanted to steal. Because I thought, if I controlled it, I could save the show, save the family. But once I started lying, I couldn't stop. Every episode, every argument, every tear. It wasn't just real. It was profitable." The audience gasps softly. The prosecutor glances at the judge. "I told myself it was for them, for my wives, for the kids. But it was for me. I couldn't stand being forgotten. I built an empire on their pain." He pauses, then quietly, "If this ever gets played in court, just know I deserve whatever comes next." The recording clicks off. Silence. The judge exhales, eyes heavy. "This changes everything." Kody lowers his head. "It's true." Every word, the judge turns to the prosecutor. "Mr. Reed, your recommendation?" Reed nods. "Your Honor, we request restitution of the missing funds and a suspended sentence conditional upon full repayment and public admission." Christine stands. "I don't want him in jail. I just want the truth." On record, Robyn steps forward. "I'll help pay back what we took. I don't want this to destroy what's left of our children's lives." Kody looks at both women, eyes red, defeated. "You'd still help me? After all that?" Christine's voice is calm but firm. "Not for you, Kody. For them. For the family that still exists somewhere under all this." The judge nods. Then, "It's settled. Mr. Brown, restitution and formal apology are mandatory. You will address the court and the public." Kody steps to the front. Cameras flash again, but this time he doesn't flinch. "To my family, my wives, my children, and everyone who watched us, I failed you. I let fame replace faith, control replace compassion, and pride replace love. We started this story together, and I turned it into a show. I don't expect forgiveness, but I do hope this truth helps someone else before they lose what I did." He looks over at Christine. You were right, Christine. Love shouldn't hurt this much. She nods, tears streaming. Then let's make sure it never does again. The judge slams the gavel gently. Court adjourned. But no one moves. Everyone's still frozen in the gravity of it. Then, applause. It starts with one person, then another. Not for victory, not for scandal, but for closure. The camera pans across faces. Christine hugging Janelle, Meri wiping her eyes, Robyn holding Kody's hand. Not out of love, but out of forgiveness. Bold retention line. Even broken families can find peace when the truth finally wins. Outside, rain begins to fall. Christine steps into it, looks up and whispers, "It's finally over." Kody walks out behind her, reporters shouting his name. He doesn't answer. He just keeps walking. A man stripped of everything but honesty. Robyn joins him, their hands briefly brushing before parting again. No words, just quiet understanding. Christine, watching from a distance, says softly, "Maybe this is how healing starts." The screen slowly fades to black. But before it does, we hear Kody's last words from the recording once more, echoing faintly. We were never perfect. But maybe, in the end, the truth can be